What nonsense is this? Rubbish people. How can I receive such an amount of money?
How much did you get?
£200.
Let me see what you got. Oops. See what I got. I just received £200 from my brother.
Oh, you got a lot more than I do.
Oh yes, with MoneyFix, you can receive money from any part of the world to Cameroon directly into your mobile money account at the cheapest rate.
Wow. Are you looking for the best exchange rate for all your money transfer? Try MoneyFix. Log on to moneyfix.com. MoneyFix. Fast, easy, and cheap service to Cameroon. MoneyFix.
One of the things that make me feel very beautiful and very confident as a brown-skinned woman is choosing the right skincare products. So here, guys, are a few of the products that I use that make me feel very beautiful, very confident. And if you have any skin issue, be it acne, hyperpigmentation, or oily skin, dry skin, whatever problem it is you're facing with your skin, trust me, Escape is here for you. Escape is actually formulated to suit all skin types, all melanated skin types. So when you use this, you see how confident I'm feeling. This is going to be you after using Escape products. Trust me.
Hi guys, how are you? Please indicate if you're hearing me. Let me get some signs from you people that you're getting me so that I can be sure. Hello Linda, my dearest baby girl. How are you? Ngum Emanuela. Welcome, my namesake. Hi, Rindis Ngome. Now today will surely block you, Dige. Yes. Okay. Is the volume okay? Guys, can you get me? Can you get me? Wow, thank you, Charlotte. Yes, you see you can get me 5 on 5. That's good. So welcome, guys. This is Relationship Hot Topics by Deli, Bisong, Denze, and myself, the Emanuela. Today is another Sunday for another hot topic. And today is going to be hot as in the word hot. You're all welcome to this show. Thank you, Sally John. Thanks for the compliment. Yomekulu Rolantine. You're welcome, girl. Thanks for joining. So, guys, please share the video as usual, for we depend on your manual sharing. Thanks, Bisong Sophie. We depend on you to share so that you can reach your friends, tag your friends, call them to come and let's talk. The topic today is going to be so good. It's on top of it. So you're all welcome. And Facebook, Uncle Meta book. Now I don't say Meta book. Meta book, they so the way they do things. They don't restrict me. So our outreach is kind of limited. So we really depend on you, our audience. And thanks for joining. So today we are talking on feminism in the African context. We're talking on feminism in the African context. As usual, when topics actually come up, thanks for the topic, Delhi. Yeah, so we know usually when some concepts actually come up, whether new or old, feminism is not a new concept as such. People take it differently. And so we came to realize that feminism is one of just those topics that people have taken it in different ways. We've got people interpreting it in one way or the other. We've got people who are identifying themselves as being feminist, people who are identifying themselves as anti-feminist and all of that, and people who stand nowhere. They have no, let me say, no opinion about it. I mean, like they don't care. But I just want us to know that feminism, it's a concept, and it's something that is ongoing, something that is very important for some people. And feminism, just so we may know, feminism is also like Christianity, where not everyone is a Christian, not everyone is a Muslim. People have different ideologies about these things. People have different ideologies about Christianity. And so you being a Christian, it's not your place now to want to judge who is not a Christian. And you not being a Christian, it's not your place to want to judge who is a Christian. I think it's literally the same like feminism. And in our society, I came to realize feminism don't turn nana kosh. Yeah, you feminist. As a man tell you feminist. It don't like say for you know say don't kosh you stay past even way, you know. And then some people feel like saying I'm a feminist already puts you, gives you some top some game, you're on top of the world. So it's such a concept that actually comes with a lot of diversity, and today I want us to talk about it. And as usual, I will plead that we maintain some respect for one another's opinion about this. Whether you're a feminist or not, you are just going to be able to be respectful with your opinion about the whole thing, so that we don't end up judging people's choices about some things. So I know we've been respectful. I love this platform. I like this our program, because it's one of those respectful programs where you really don't need to call people often about their comments or things like that. I rarely see it here. So I give it up to you people. So guys, once more, you're welcome. And I'm going to invite first, yes, just to let you know, unfortunately, one of us will not be around. Yeah. So when the rest of the people come, you know will not be around. It's unfortunate, but we will still do it. 3 people will be able to give you what 4 people normally give. So you are welcome. Share the video, tag your friends, and tell them to come and watch. So Dashboard, could you please send me this song? Guys, sorry, I keep adjusting my camera because I have. Hi, this
Hello,
song.
hello, Emma.
How are you?
No, good. Hello, fellow viewers, loyal fans of Daily's Match of Relationship Hot Topics. I greet you all, and happy Sunday.
Okay, so welcome to the show, Bisong. Thanks for joining me. Next person, please kindly join us on show. Hi, sis. Hi, sis. When I never make noise to this show today, because if not, my sister go sleep for show. If not, my sister go sleep for show today.
Is that a sleep day?
He gonna sleep. No mind. Welcome, sis.
Thank you so much.
Wait, I the pass so let that vigilator of GC.
I tell you, say. For mathematics in particular, God, they don't say put a never copy for mathematics.
Hey everyone. Hi Bisong. Hi fam. How are we? It's good to be here. I'm not the best of myself, but please, I'm gonna try to stay woke to the end of the show. So yeah, it's an interesting topic, and anyway, I'm looking forward to learning more, because it's like we always say, those one of those topics that you're walking on eggshells, and you want to be careful what you say and how you say it.
Exactly.
So, but anyways, we're looking at demystifying the topic, and I mean, shed more light on it, and yeah, hopefully, and I'm looking forward to having fun as well. So yeah.
Really, I mean, I like that one, demystifying, because the topic has been mystified in such a way that, and really, it's a topic about walking on eggshells, you know. And that's why I could like, this thing is like Christianity. I didn't want to talk about religion as such, you know. It's like Christianity or these people of the Buddhism or Muslim or stuff like that, where because you belong there, you think whoever is not there, now order for that person. Or because you're not there, you feel like whoever is there is a problem, and all of this fighting and this and this and this. So, but that notwithstanding, I'm happy we know the angle to take this topic from. We know we are working on eggshells, and so we it's going to really help us to be naturally sensitive or careful how we go
Me,
about it.
for me, I'm going to be walking on rocks, so I'm not
Yeah, no,
walking
it's
on any
fine.
extra.
It's okay. I mean, if you can walk on rocks, that will not hit people's heads, you know. That would be fine. That still will be okay. So
I'm not only caution or caution me. It's change it. Only caution.
okay. Don't say I didn't warn you anyway. But I mean, I trust our viewers. I trust how respectful we can be. But guys, I understand the views are not when I call people
Can you
there,
imagine?
if we be talking
Can
about
you
how
imagine?
when I come by, I want you to kiss me. When I come by, I go and shower. Put music. The music should be playing. The place for flop. Space over there. Put everything. Talk normal. Sleep. Talk normal. Sleep. You do me.
I tell you, sir.
Guys, tag your friends. Welcome, Ebemba. Greetings to you. You're welcome. Nice to have you here. Our famous Ebemba. Okay, so let's
Ebemba is here.
Ebemba is here.
Oh, Ebemba, welcome. We didn't see you last week. What happened?
Ebemba says special happy Sunday to me alone. Moon, I don't answer.
I don't die.
Okay, so yes, some person don't already start shoot stone them like this. So I beg, go. So let me come to this. So can you give us a general overview of the word feminism?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to, Emma, but let me just drift a little bit away from this our show of today. Guys, please bear with me. Let me take you guys back 3 weeks ago. It was my birthday, and these my special sisters, they made a wonderful surprise for me and you all, like the audience, you guys, you were all involved in it, together with Denzel, who is not here today. And it was such a wonderful surprise. They showed me love. I know most of you thought it all ended there, but I myself, I thought, oh, that was the end, because I'd received like lots of love. And then surprisingly, something arrived. I know I'm doing this now. They'll not be happy with me. They go query me after. Yeah, but I will just do it. Let me also take them in my own level of my surprise, because they've been surprising me a lot with lots of love. Let me do my thing my way. Deliver to the passer. You see, so something dropped at my doorstep, and I decided that I'm really going to share it with you all. I want you people to know how special these my sisters and my brother, there's how much they are to me, and they are always pushing me in anything that I say I want to, any endeavor I try to realize, and they've been pushing me. So after that birthday, that was just the supporting. It was just the tip of the iceberg, and this thing arrived my doorstep. I'm going to share it with you all. Like, it's something that I've been longing to receive for a very, very long time. I know so many people are wondering what's inside, what could be inside. It's a wonderful gift from this. It's a wonderful gift from this, my sisters and my brother Denzel. So many people are wondering, and I'm going to share it with you. For some people, it will be weird, but I'm going to tell you how much it's so precious to me. It's something about my career, my dream career, everything about me. And they have decided to support me in such a wonderful, wonderful way. This is something I've been planning to get for myself the end of 2022. But they have decided to bring it to me just at the end of 2021. Can you see how much they are ready to push me forward? Here it is. I'm going to show you, but don't be surprised. It even has a usual manual. How precious it is. iPhone lovers, it's not iPhone, but trust me, it's more than iPhone. Emma, sorry for stealing your show. Just allow me to do my thing. And right here with me, it's a shoe knife all the way from Japan. It is a dream come true. So many people, you're wondering, like, what's this guy doing with a knife? I'm not a killer, please. So these, my sisters and my brother Denzel, they did everything possible that I should own this knife. It's much more expensive more than iPhone. It's made out of steel and carbon and graphite in different layers. It's a 31 layer plate of knife, anti-corrosive. It has a lifetime guarantee of at least 30 years. So I'm going to use this until my grandkids come to see it through. This was offered to me by Deli, Emma, and Denzel. I thank you all so much. If you really want to take a look at it, for anyone who is a chef, if you see this, they'll know it's a wonderful gift you can ever give to someone that's a chef. Trust me. And I was planning to get these for myself. You can see how glittering it is. It has a little bit of gold in it. Trust me. Giselle Italy, Shebina for use for kitchen. Of course, it's a chef's knife. It pass even to an iPhone 13 I see for outside there. It's very, very expensive, and it was offered to me by this my two sisters and my one brother. I thank Una plenty for this wonderful gift. I'm so happy. Any morning time I'd wake up and look at small. I look up. Am I dreaming? So okay, so for that, if you want to be benefiting as I am doing now, you can come send your application to the members of the Well, okay, Emma. Emma, what is with their question?
Whose question? Who asked you question? I seriously don't know how things to be done at the background, and people are bringing it in front of the stage. Anyway,
I know. Vex, I've done it my own way. If you know, immediately after show, so I just go offline. Down a query, only send an audio.
Okay. I mean. Anyway, you deserve it, and you deserve even more and better. So we are happy we were able to reach out to you in a special way that in a way that you've been desiring.
Yeah.
And you were planning 1 year. It was actually like you will build your castles in the air in 1 year to come. Yeah. And then we actually make it. I mean, that's how God works sometimes. God just walk through it. How would you know? We don't know how we will know. Anyway, this show not be about me. Can you answer the question? Give us an overview about feminism.
Well, thank you. Let me get back to the show. Yeah, feminism, as it sounds, if we try to find out the meaning of feminism, we will get lots and lots of different meaning. But to me, in a nutshell, I try to summarize it as equality, giving women. It's to give women the opportunity to execute their full potentials in achieving what they desire, or in achieving their full potentials in life. You know, it's just it's just about gender equality. What belongs to women to be given to women, and women's right to be respected. To me, that's all about feminism. But it's not. I know some people see it as conflict between man and woman. I don't see it that way. But as we continue, as we go further into the show, I think maybe we'll have to look at that. Emma.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I think my network was breaking, so you done?
Yes, I am. Hey, where have you been?
No, I said my network actually, there was an interruption.
Okay, sorry.
So I didn't even get your last word, but it's fine. So thank you. So we go to Delhi. Please give us your overview about the word feminism.
Hi, you all. Hi, everybody. Good evening to you all. Please kindly share the video. Tag your friends. Share, pump us hearts now. At least you're looking at us. Just encourage us and give us some hearts. Okay. If you're just joining, I said earlier that I'm not feeling myself that much, but hopefully I can stay true to the end of the show. Bisong, I'm happy that you liked your gift. Well, it wasn't meant for the public. It was meant for you alone. Okay, it's just for next time. Look, I embarrass you for sure. Okay, guys. Feminism. This topic, man. I wish I were Denzel actually at this point in time. I don't have to answer this question. Feminism to me is feminism, female, from the feminine. Okay, it comes from that word, female. So it's talking about the woman, and it is all about female empowerment. Okay, to empower women to be better versions of themselves in economically, socially, financially, morally, physically, and all whatnot. So it's just, in my opinion, empowerment, just to make women come out of the box, come out of their comfort zones, push them to think better, push them to challenge their status quo, just get better in whatever thing they're doing. So I think that's me understanding what feminism is. So yeah, I'm talking about it in the African context. I think that African context is we're saying African context because there's the European context, there's the American context, there's the individual context. So we wanted to make it African context just so that we can it can be relatable. So most of us, at least the majority of us watching are from the African descent. So we want to understand what this is to us. And I think it's all about empowerment. But I'm happy that it's limited like that, just so that we don't cross boundaries and start looking at different things. Because if we want to look at other places or want to look at it in a generic format, we're going to be looking at cultures into they say cross-cultural whatever, and the ideologies which of course will not align with ours. So that's it for me. Feminism, female empowerment.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks. I mean, like about the idea of intercultural stuffs like that, like so that we don't go and we start talking about feminism in America when we are not in America, when we don't even know how it works. Feminism in Europe, even though we live in Europe, we don't have details of their feminism, of what they are really fighting for. So feminism, like any other concept, aligns with the culture of that society. That's why there is African feminism. There's feminism in the West, so it makes a big difference. So Giselle Ita, you say feminism is a range of social movements, political movements, and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political economy, personal and social equality of the sexes. Thank you for that definition from Wikipedia. Thanks. Yes, so thanks guys for the general overview on feminism. I won't want us to start flying around the place. I just want us now to get to get directly into the African feminism. Yeah, Sylvia Pell, you say feminism is a revisionary love. Maybe somehow you want to elaborate on that because it's a bit sketchy. You could kindly elaborate on what you mean by that definition so that we can all learn. I remember when we just started, I read your comment and you said you're a proud feminist. So I think being a proud feminist, you can know maybe better about the concept and what it's all about. And Sally John says, I think it should be positive women empowerment. Yes, I like the new word that is entering into the whole thing. Positive women empowerment, because there's also negativity. We can all maybe agree on the points that people could also be empowered negatively to take it in the wrong direction. So we depend on your comments to keep coming while we read them out, because it all matters. I always believe that apart from us, the panelists here, you people have a lot of enriched ideas that we can always read from you guys and get to understand what your ideas about all of this is. So I'm waiting and looking forward to your comments. Okay, so Bisong,
Yeah.
so looking at your definition of feminism, talking about, you said it's about gender equality first and
Mhm.
helping women to achieve their full potentials. So how applicable, if I may ask, is this in our African society?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think anyway, I'm really grateful that you guys made this disparity between African feminism, Western feminism, and feminism in an individual point of view. If we really look at in Africa and Cameroon, to be precise, back then during the patriarchal times, and we look at the Cameroonian society of today, we can see that feminism has really helped us, played a huge role in developing society gender based on our gender roles. Women are much more involved in society building in Cameroon in particular, where we can see, if I have to go politically, we can see how today in Cameroon, one of the strongest political oppositions is a woman, Mrs. This Edith Kawala. You know, she is one of the strong oppositions to the ruling party. Even in the government, you have ministers who are women. Women have been given this opportunity. Back then in the patriarchal times, I remember, I don't know who holds this position now, but I remember one time, Minister of Culture was, is it still Anna Tutumuna, something like that? So she's no longer there, right? But yeah, but this uh, post of responsibility has once been occupied by a woman. So we see that back then, during the patriarchal times, women were denied these opportunities. Back then, women, a girl child wasn't even allowed to go to school. But today, we don't see that anymore. All the forceful marriages, we know it still exists, but it's not as common, it's not as rampant as it was back then. Back then, we knew the girl child, the moment you turn the age of as early as 14, 13, you're going to live with a man called husband. But today, these things, it doesn't happen anymore. Women have the right now to choose who they want to live with, and they only live with a man. They get to get married only after maturity. Women can go to school, they can choose what they want to do with their lives, you know, and childbearing for women, it's now by choice. Back then, a woman, you had no voice. So even when you're married to your husband, if your husband says we are going to have 20 kids, it doesn't matter if the woman is healthy enough or mentally strong enough to bear those kids. So long as the man is ready to get her pregnant, she's forced to carry these 20 kids. But today, women would have been given the opportunity. You go even in maternity rooms in Cameroon, where women, they give women the opportunity to learn about family planning things, and they have a say at the end point of it. Today in Africa and in Cameroon, to be precise, women are at the center table of discussion. They are at the center table of decision making, you
Mm.
know. So I think at this point I could stop here, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it also depends on you, but if you said enough, that's fine. Yes, you said some very powerful points. Just that you kept saying back then in the patriarchy time, as if we've moved out of patriarchy, because in my opinion, our society, we are still, I mean, we are still in the patriarchy time, but I get you. I really get you. I mean, you meant when things were not so enlightened, when things were not so different, this conservative mindset was there that much. So those are really powerful points, because yes, we are getting the difference out there. We get women getting more into politics. We get women having the opportunity to work more and all of this. Yes, but just something that maybe while talking, I just wish that we don't miss out is the fact that sometimes we limit our views to the urban areas most of the time, because that's what we can easily see. That's where we can easily see the progress, and that's what is happening. But unfortunately, when we go to the suburbs, some of the things people were fighting against in the past, they are still there, which I feel like sometimes it's been ignored because nobody goes to these villages or to these suburbs to maybe try to see that those things are being changed. But that notwithstanding, like you rightly said, Bisang, our society today is not like our society in the 70s, in the 60s, and all of that. So we have actually had a great change. Okay, so coming back to you, you talked about female empowerment. Yeah, which was really good. Empowering the woman. That's about feminism now. So I want you now to take it to African community, like how much of this is being done in our African society, like how feasible it is to empower women.
I think somehow Bisong has shed more light on that already. Right now, empowering, like I said, socially, economically, physically, financially, morally, and all of that. You see, all of these aspects, women are encouraged to have the. I mean, women are being included in all of these positions. Okay, they get to do the things you hear. Most women will say what a man can do, a woman can do now. Whereas in those days, some things used to be limited just to the man, going to school, education used to be limited just to the men. Now women go to school, and the women are even going to school more than, I mean, for the most part, more than the men.
Yeah.
Working in organizations, women get there and they're doing the same. I think that why most of these movements they come about is when they see something more like they want to address an issue that is not right. Most likely at the workplace, for instance, we're
Mm-hmm.
working the same hours, we're doing the same kind of job,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um, um, putting in the same resources and all of that, then the man is being paid more. And I think those who orchestrated this felt like that was not right. If I'm working this, I should earn this. I should not be limited because of my gender, which of course that makes a lot of sense. It wouldn't not make sense that you and I will put in the same. For instance, we come on the show, we give our input, we take turns in doing things, we do it, proportionately, and then one person it goes home, feeling better simply because of the gender. So that is it. Like I said, this is at all angles, because what you I think what is bringing about all the strife and the drama and the arguments most often is, to what extent should a woman be empowered? Okay, because people feel like, okay, because now the woman has been empowered, the woman will leave her position, like her God-given position, the place of the home, and go out there to fend like the men as well. So if a
Mm-hmm.
woman has been empowered to financially, you're being financially empowered, social inclusions and all of that, the woman is no longer relegated to being at home. So the woman has to go out there and fend like the man as well. And when that happens, the place where, like I would say, in my opinion, the primary job or role of a woman is found wanting. And so that's why especially some African men, they're not very comfortable when you're talking about it because they feel like, okay, my wife used to cook, sit at home, cook food, take care of the kids. But right now, my wife is there hustling as much, and she would not even agree to stay at home and do all of those things because, according to her, she has been empowered and she thinks that what she can do, what I can do, she can do as well. So it is all of these little things. And then again, you see at the area of most women, especially in the African setup, it is because we were not used to being financially empowered like that. I feel like the feminism somehow was understood by most African women as financial empowerment. So when I was talking about empowerment, I mentioned all of these other angles. So most women, they financially empower themselves, and like I talked about moral side, then you see now there's the moral decadence. So it feels like you are pumping one hand and then the other one is there, nothing is happening, you know. So that's what's bringing up all the arguments and all of that. So you see a very financially empowered woman, very educated now. She's gone to school. She's financially empowered. She's in these social spaces, but hey, with the character is as bad as it can be. And so because of that, people are beginning to point a finger at that feminism, that this is where this thing is coming from. Initially, a woman did not have the quote unquote guts to stand and challenge a man in such things. But now, because we both end the same, we both work in the same places, we both can do all of these things that we can do, the woman feels like, you know what, I am now equal to you. And that's where the African man cannot take it. So these are the things that are happening. So yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Guys, I don't know what's happening. Like, when are you people planning to share this thing? Each time I want to talk, I look the direction of my
Don't
phone.
continue, my sister. They don't add
When
them.
are
They
you
don't
people?
say they don't add them one way again, only yesterday. So if two people they even watch, it's surprising to me because normally they don't even get to take down page. So
I
just
don't
continue.
know. We'll get a turn Delhi's match up into pigeon camp together.
I'm
Association of
telling
pigeon
you.
speakers. Association of pigeon speakers on Meta book. That's what we'll get for turn Delhi's
So,
match up. Like seriously,
We're gonna start up a new page altogether. I'll have to announce it tomorrow. As bad as that sounds.
the least thing is warning. The least thing is warning. Now they did this match already. One on, so they want all man for Meta book. Anyway,
Don't want
so
to
guys,
don't say.
the new name, they don't already launched the new name.
no, I
No.
know.
No, it's not
Meta
gonna
book.
be. It's not gonna be here. More like, you know how they say, it's more like a name that has to do with, okay, the background,
The administrative.
administrative purposes. Facebook is
Okay.
still gonna be Facebook. Yeah,
Oh,
not yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I like the whole life of character in my head. Who don't rest I use me now the name. Anyway, okay, so thanks guys for the wonderful input. I'm getting some wonderful comments coming from there. And so Rolatine, she talked about feminism and like it's all about glamoring for women to be paid the same as men for doing the same work for the same qualification. And also eugenics young eugenics young. Okay, so he said it's generally about the liberation of women from some things they didn't have like in the past, such as ownership of property and also the right to inheritance. I think he said a lot of beautiful things there that I couldn't copy everything, but just picking out this property ownership and right to inheritance, I thought like this is really powerful because these are things that people ignore when out there. We still have a lot of cultures that think that women have no right to inheritance. We have many cultures out there that actually think that a woman is not even supposed to own a property. That's why you have women who still buy lands in the names of your brothers or in the names of your fathers, because according to their culture, wait till woman do a land where is supposed to go married. Yeah, so talking about this, all of this, I think Deli mentioned something about the fear of an African man or the misconception of an African woman about feminism. And guys, just so we get all of this, before we get this mixed out, feminism, a feminist doesn't mean it's necessarily a woman. We have men out there who are feminists, just so we know. So if there is a misconception, it's coming also from both sides. We have men who are feminists, we have women who are feminists. And so the misconception, it's all around. So Deli mentioned the fear of an African man, which is actually taking me to something. And before I ask my question, this song, let me ask this, please. Oh, sorry, before I enlighten on that, the fear of an African man and the misconception from an African woman, this song, what do you think, like, now you have a definition of feminism. You have a definition of what an African feminism, or how applicable it could be in our community or society. What are the misconceptions generally now about this feminism stuff so far? Why has it become so much of a talk in such a way that feminism don't turn one being an akosh? Because sometimes I'll just see people discussing some more kind of now feminism. That's so I'm like, feminism be big caution since when today they caution they see they read the caution man say it be feminist today. Then let's say the person gets to the vex, say the caution say it be feminist. So what are the misconceptions of all of this in our society?
Yeah, there are lots of misconceptions. If we really will have to look at it, there are lots. And at first, let's say like last year, I used to think about this topic and have conversations with friends. I used to say, I used to put all the blames on women for all the misconceptions, for those feminist women. But now I think it's a two-way thing. Some of us men too, we are responsible for these misconceptions, because we misinterpret a lot of movements when it comes to feminism. We see it wrongly. We see it as a threat. God made man, and we have what we call gender roles, and to achieve your full potential of your gender, you should be able to take responsibility of your roles. As a man, me being a man, I have there's a responsibility that comes with my gender. Already, if a woman gets close to me, what she expects to benefit from me, she expects to benefit from security. She expects that I'm going to be a provider. She expects that I'm going to be a shelter for a family. I'm going to be a head man of a family. This is my responsibility that every woman will expect from a man. Okay, me being a man, if I see a woman and I'm interested in her, me going to her, there's that gender role that comes along with the feminine gender that I expect. Women, they are caregivers, they are better managers, they are all the sweet words that comes with women, procreators, on earth, all these things. So if we really focus on our gender roles, then feminism won't be a threat, or we won't execute our feminist character in a way that will be as a threat to another gender. This is what has caused all the misconception. Someone trying to be a feminist, but you are not executing the feminist character in a way that won't be conflicting to the other gender, or you misinterpreting a feminist. Because I see a lady, or because my wife says she has to go to school, she wants to get a job, she would like to work for this and that properties for herself. That doesn't make me, the man, less of a provider. It doesn't make me, the man, less of a security to the family. So now, when I start considering my wife's progress, her potentials, how she's progressing, if I start see it as a threat, oh, she's trying to switch from no longer being a wife, now she wants to be the provider of the house. That's when I start seeing it as a threat, because at that point, that's not feminism anymore. It is trying to switch your gender roles. You are a
Mm.
woman. You
Mm.
can use whatever potential you have in executing your gender roles. And I'm going to use whatever potential I have, whatever thing I have achieved in executing my own gender roles. So it's all about these conflicts. I think it comes about when we try to switch our gender roles and responsibilities. Every gender has its role and has its responsibility. Even if we go down domestically, when you're living at home, Emma, with your brother,
Yeah.
even like when we're growing, you want come for us, you want put light on, Bob don't blow. No be only when I say me about that car. Maybe even if you take it upon yourself, say me if I find chair, climb, go trust struggle for fix Bob. If any man in that house sees you, the first thing I say, what you do for day? Come on, go down, you know, because there are some domestic chores at home that we see it, we incline it to our gender, especially when it's a little bit risky, when it's a little bit tedious. The fact say you see woman, a girl trying to repair the bulb at home when they are boys, this doesn't mean we are saying that a woman can't pick up a career as an electrical engineer. But the risk trying to fit in bulbs at home doing that when they are men, because we see ourselves as the security guard. Nothing, if anything bad is about happening, we should be at the forefront. So if we deny women not taking that role of security guard to a family, it's not inequality. It is not inequality, because they have their own role, but it's just our duty. If we decide that no, let's take upon the role to be the sole providers of in the home, right? This doesn't mean we are stopping women from making their own money. It doesn't mean we are stopping a woman from buying food for the kids in the house. But it should be a point that if she has to do it, it should pass through the channel of the man. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like she has to give money, but she should know that I'm doing this under the umbrella of my husband because he is the provider. I am helping my husband. You don't take it like, oh, I am providing from my home. I don't know if you get the difference.
I
I am providing from my home.
Yeah.
It's the same like when a woman gives birth to a child. All the care and everything, the child solely depends upon the mother. For nurturing, the breastfeeding. That's why God gave women breast. God fulfill give man picking and woman, make a man picking they be able for breastfeed picking too. But the nurturing and all the things like that, it's all built up in the feminine system. But the fact that if I come back from work, I decide that I'm going to carry this child and be with this child for 2 hours so that you can rest. I'm not trying to be the mother. Because even when I have to feed this child, I will still need to ask the consent of the mother. Because when a child is born, the feeding is from the mother. Even before born, when the mother carries the child in her belly, the child feeds from what the mother feeds from. So it's if we really respect each other's role, there won't be any problem. But as you ask about the origin of this, the source of all these conflicts, I think is when we try to switch this word to switch gender roles. Yeah, thank you. It's when we try to switch our gender role, but we can always work to achieve our full potentials in life without switching gender roles.
Exactly.
The fact that a man works professionally as a midwife, it doesn't mean when he comes back home, he will kick his wife aside like, you know nothing about nurturing kids. I'm a midwife. I should stand at the forefront. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
His full potentials was becoming a midwife. But now when we come in a family setting, the woman has her place. when it comes to child nurturing. She has her place.
Yeah.
Keep your midwifery profession at work. When you come to house, you succumb under the woman when it comes to child nurturing and all that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bisa. Bisa, what's written behind your back in the board?
It says this is not men versus women issue. It's about people versus prejudice.
Oh yeah, thank you. I like
Yeah.
that. I mean, because someone just mentioned in the comments, and then before I
Mm.
realized you had something behind you, so I tried to read.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't get it completely. Yeah,
The head
just
too big.
this is sorry. Sorry.
The head too big.
No, that the picture far, no be the head big actually. Yeah, so when I just saw the not men versus women issue, I was so happy because it's a very important point. So you made really good points about trying to switch roles. I think Delhi also touched on this, trying to switch roles in, mixing up feminism and trying to switch roles and all of this. So coming back to Delhi, I want you to talk more about misconception. We get to see this on social media. I want us to talk about this misconception about feminism, actually, from your part.
Okay, I think this misconception, this onset is coming from the switching or swapping of gender roles. It's one of the ways. I think one of the ways is revisiting the origin of feminism. Why is the misconception? Because of the originality of the word. Where is it coming from? Who brought about the word? Because as much as you would pick up something and you run with it or you try to make it your own thing, you should also understand that where it's coming from and the originality of that thing matters a lot, a great deal. And again, how it is projected to us, because we can sit here and say it is African context, but the bulk of what we see is from the European context or the American context, because this is what it is. The media is predominantly American, I mean European or the West, you know. Much of what we have in Africa is just garbage. They're just pouring garbage there. So we sit here, we talk about things about Africa, but hey, our examples, again, will still narrow them back to America, because this is what we are constantly being bombarded with. In as much as we say that, okay, the woman's roles are these and that, it is not that's not what we see on TV and the shows, or what is being sold to us on a daily. So the programs you watch and all of that, is that truly what it is? And I think that going back to the origin of it, that's where you start seeing it, because we had the first wave feminism, second wave feminism, third wave feminism, and then the African context feminism. And in the first, second, and third waves, you see that there was a divergent at some point in time where it was strictly toxic. And that's why, if you've listened to me for a long time, you would have heard me say, when there's a complication in a word, I just rather not even flow with whatever movement it's talking about, because somehow we would always somehow divert and go back to where it is coming from. And I just prefer to stay with what is written in scripture as a Christian. For me, what is God saying about the female gender, and what is he saying about the male gender? That's my standard, and how I could go about it, to know that, okay, I know that I'm not going to be wrong following what is said in scripture and all of that, and which boils back to having these roles. Because if you look at it, even talking in the African context, most women, or let me not say most, there are loads of women, African women, who still don't believe in gender roles. And guess what? It is under the guise of feminism. They think, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna. Lots of times we've been on the show, and somebody is saying that, you know what, kitchen no be woman eating. Don't, why do you make a maybe a woman eating? No be woman eating. So why do we say that it is a woman's thing? And when you look at it that way, where is that coming from? If it was all to empower a woman to make them better versions, and you are still working in your role and functioning as a woman, then your role as a woman and as a mother in the house would just be much more beautiful, and not being taken off or swapped or whatever, just like Bisong said. So I think that these misconceptions still boils back to what the original thing was. Because at the end of the day, it is the people who started something. Let's just say whites cannot interpret the African culture better than we Africans. We cannot interpret the European culture better than the Europeans or the Americans. And so if something is from there, then it means it is their thing. And as much as we want to try as much as possible to make it ours, we would always have a factor, some sort of from there. That's why you see each time you're struggling to tell, for instance, we're talking about this demystifying these things, but as much as we go ahead, you see the concept of submission, where each time you struggle to demystify submission, you get to a point where somebody will come from another angle, because these submission love concepts, trust me, it is highly related to feminism. There are aspects about it which affects how you will define submission. Because you see somebody else, if you look at how people define submission, those who hold feminism at heart have a different definition to it, and than those who hold patriarchy at heart. You would see that. So, like I said, that's where it's really coming from, and all of that. Like I said, I would rather go through the route of what God says about me as a woman. Me as a woman, looking at all the different hats that I wear as a queen, as a princess, as a daughter, as a sister. That's how I would rather approach my gender, and see all of the beauty and beautiful attributes that are for me. Hold on to those things, and not having to really bother about what the male gender is supposed to be. And also to understand that, and as much as we talk about the what is that thing called, the jobs, I would say, is it job, like gender pay gap. As much as we try to talk about it, I don't want to just limit it to limit it there. Okay, I want to also understand that that is just an aspect. Gender pay gap should not be feminism. It's not just all about it. I want to also get to the point where I know that I am not equal to the man in terms of, because that's one way where you say we're equal, gender pay gap, gender pay, all of those things, equality should come in. Now, I'm not equal to a man, because if you look at me physically with Bison, we're not equal. We're not the same. We're different. And it is my femininity, my uniqueness, that makes me beautiful, and all of what I stand to represent. And if we all look at me, I'm looking at my femininity, I'm looking at all of these beautiful things about me, knowing that I cannot be the same. Bison no get breast, Bison has a different build, Bison has all of that. We also have all of these, and understand that it's our uniqueness that makes us beautiful. I think we all of these things will really not come into. So I have a problem with feminism, quote unquote, when even in the African context, we start to equate ourselves to the men. That's where majority of it is coming from. So when we talk about equality, what do we mean by equality? What do we actually understand by equality? What do we understand by it? Sorry, Denzel. Like that. So that's it for me. Just so that I am clear, understands that I am not equal to a man. I am not the same. I am different, but it is still a very beautiful position to be in. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So thanks about that, Diri. I don't know if I mentioned this one time here, but I mean, in the recent past, I came to just discover something that was so funny. And I realized that we have been pushing a lot of blame to the West. Yet, I mean, like, how do I put it? Like we say, we want to copy things from the West, right? Talking about this feminism stuff. It's a concept from the West, yes, but there is an African history of feminism, not with the name feminism, and I'm going to bring the names here actually.
Okay, that would be a great one then.
There's an African history about feminism and all of this. It's the same concept about female, the same concept about women, but it's not in the word feminism. And so people are really distancing themselves from the word feminism because it's coming from the West and from their own culture. But what I actually wanted to mention is about patriarchy, actually. I was so surprised to read that the toxic patriarchy was introduced to Africa by the West.
By the West, yes.
Yeah, the toxic
Mhm.
patriarchy that we have today was rather introduced to our society by the West. And okay, yes, this is what I said, I mentioned last time. I talked about the issue of women being concentrated to stay in the kitchen. I'm saying because you mentioned the kitchen. It was actually introduced by the West, because if we look at the roles of the women in the Bible, there was nothing like women have to be in the kitchen. We know our roles as the Bible says it, but nothing like outrightly saying that a woman's place is in the kitchen. But the issue of a woman supposed to be in the kitchen was introduced by the West, the colonial masters, when they came. And they started it with education, actually, because they needed the men to go and work in the fields and pay taxes to them. And for the women, they were restricting what to teach the women, because in their mentality, the women were supposed to be behind cooking while the men are there doing the work to pay the taxes. So, I mean, it was really such a revelation I had. And no, not a revelation, sorry. So I read, a discovery, sorry, a discovery I had while
Revelation, no, it not be revelation, revelation. It depends
a
on.
discovery I had while doing this whole search, and to me it was like, wow, really? And just to think that it is the West that introduced us to the fact that a woman has to get married to a man and bear the man's name. It is from the West. But guess what is happening? Today in Europe, you and your partner can agree. We'll marry you, baby. That's it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah,
introduce
yeah,
these things to us.
yeah.
They introduce these things to us. Then we carry enough for hele banan. Then for them now, they say and say, hey, this one go introduce, and so it don't like say it gets so ye. Then they moved out of it, and then we stay there. Anyway, I mean, there are a lot of things that we said. I really wanted to hear from us before I say a lot of, because I tried to really put down some stuffs. You know, I realized that, which is something I've always been wondering. Each time I read comments from people, I'm asking, what's happening? Who said feminism is even connected to marriage? I was so shocked, because each time I read comments, but even getting from you people's points when you people are talking, I feel like we keep connecting it to
Because
like
it has a
marriage.
connection, sis. Like I was saying,
No,
that it
it's
has
not
a
a connection.
connection.
No, not like, sorry. Why? How do I put it?
Like limited, like
Felicity,
being limited to
it's
marriage.
not limited to marriage,
Okay,
because when we
yeah,
talk about, when we look at feminism and we want to limit it to marriage, it's as if we are saying that a sister in the convent who is not married has no right to the rights of a feminist or something like that. It's as
I
if we
no,
want
I
to
get
say,
it.
it's as if you want to say a woman who has decided not to get married has no rights. But if we look at the points people gave here, what is feminism? And I think you both also talked about it. Women wanting to get this pay, and then men are afraid. They are being threatened, like Bison was mentioning. You're being threatened. What about a woman who will not get married? Are you limiting her not to have a job and be well paid as a man just because she has no man who is threatening? She's not married. She has no husband.
I think if it's single, I don't think most people will have a problem. You know why
Yeah,
feminism has
it's
a lot.
because
It's
the
That's
because
conflicts
a
come a lot.
misconception, right?
in marriage, it's when
That is,
man and woman
yes,
get
that
together
is
now.
exactly, that is the misconception. And that's why I really wanted us to bring out this misconception about feminism. Because people now, those who think they are feminist, they have taken it into marriage. Misconception. Those who are not feminist, even misconception. But if you look at the word feminism, from the word feminism, it's not just about marriage. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
we
it's
agree
not a
on that.
man
We
versus a
do.
woman issue. Yes, it's not a man versus a woman issue, like Bison rightly says. On the contrary, it's a complementary thing. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm going to really take some time to, I don't know, you guys can please give me, I know I'm the one
No,
hosting.
no, no, fine.
Like,
I'd rather you, and it's a topic
yeah,
that you're passionate about. So I
yes, so
rather,
let me just,
yeah, I rather you explain better so that there are a lot
yeah,
of things, especially the discoveries you talked about, so that people
yeah.
can get an
Exactly, because
understanding of
I
it.
really, a lot of things that I realized about this feminism stuff, and I said I thought we should share, because I was really getting tired and weighed out from the comments and all of the misconception about all of those things. The first thing I want us to understand, I think maybe we might all agree, we might not agree, but after this show, you might want to look up some of those things. Equality doesn't mean sameness, first of all, because I see we keep using the word equality, sameness together. Equality doesn't mean sameness. The fact that Delhi and I should be treated equally doesn't make us the same people. We are not the same, unfortunately. The fact that Bisong and I should be treated equally doesn't mean we are same. So looking at it now from the relationship of a man and a woman, feminism, being equal doesn't mean I'm going to take the place of a man. Being equal doesn't mean I'm the same.
That's where we're talking about the misconception that. So when we're talking about equality and people say, yeah, equality is fine, so we have to be paid the same, they forget to understand that it is limited to that level. Now, when it comes now to when a man and a woman has to get their roles done, you start, that's why you hear 50-50. Remember when this 50-50 thing was boiling like that? So now, because, you know, have you noticed that this thing has got more to the level of what I do, you must do. In fact, now cutting bills into middle, cutting I cook today, you cook tomorrow. I pay for this thing. So that's why you see the issue of equality now being misconstrued, because of people not understanding the limits of that.
Perfectly. Because I read a comment from someone. Bisong was trying to say women also, they have the right to be paid.
What's the comment? Let me protest it if you can.
I think it's really gone up, but I can just remember the person was just trying to tell Bisong, oh no, women want to be paid, but they don't want to take responsibilities when it comes to it. Oh no, like I keep saying, for a woman who is not married, do you expect her not to be paid because of responsibility? Me being paid for the job doesn't change my husband's responsibility at home, which Bisong rightly mentioned. Yes, it doesn't change. And it doesn't make me a man at all. It doesn't.
I think that we've had that in exceptional cases so many times on the platform now. When you hear now they say women have to, you've had that, right, Bisong? When you see
we've had that.
Women have to, when you just say men have to take care of their women or their homes, you just see men now come in the comments and start saying that no, women have said that it is equality, is equality. Now I'm like, equality now mean nasivity. That's why I was saying that we see what equality really means to understand that. Yes, so let's if you want to talk on that, really talk on that hard.
Exactly. I mean, like, it has no, because, you know, like we are saying, it's just because when we hear about it, we are just thinking about a husband and a wife. We forget that we have single men out there. We forget that we have single women out there who will never get married. Yet they have the right to enjoy this rights that feminists are actually talking about. But anyway, starting with that equality and sameness not being the same thing, and not meaning that we have to switch roles. I know there's this person, Deborah Cameron. Yeah, her name is actually Deborah Cameron. She made a powerful statement. She said, men are from Venus, women are from Mars. She wrote some powerful things about feminism, about women and men and all of this. She ended saying, whether we like it or not, we will never be the same. Never. We will never be the same, because women are from Mars, men are from Venus. Two different planets.
You don't wake up now, start talking. Women are from Mars, men are from Venus. Me say sister.
No, that's two different planets. That's what I just explained, right? That it means we are from different planets.
Which planet they go say they come with
that, it means that we are not the same. We will never be the same. We will never think the same.
I'm just saying that we say you come out to go choose Venus, put man for them, take Mars, put woman for them. They don't put up with Jupiter. They come out.
And I think it's just a metaphor, right?
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I think Nelly understands. I think the aim is just to say, you see these two people, their walls apart. We're not there with the same. We don't think we the same. If man even want to ask something, again, it's time we go ask and different from woman. Now, why there is sometimes they will even talk, say, hey, woman, you know, so we like we talk, we do talk, we like for talk. Now, when we see my way over talk, it's a complete turn off. Those are things that we look at those things. And then would ask us
complete turn off.
You are talking. How many times don't complain for yes, more people a mob the pass le rainfall.
Incite made for the talking.
This I say first date. Una jogo shido, story one come over for neighboring table. The man don't
You don't add your own thing, your own comment. I tell you.
You don't add your own comment. But if na woman, trust me, that man officially just shake his head. And if you just turn and say women, because it's like we are used to the mutoka, like we use our mouth a lot. I'm just explaining this so that we really don't get this feminism thing really mixed up. There is a lot to feminism than just marriage.
Right.
And now the discovery, the history about feminism I was talking about, the African history about feminism. So just for people who like to read, I don't know if we can see this, how clear.
Yeah. Take off your face and just put only the book.
Oops,
Go behind the book. Go behind the book. Your face. We don't need to see your face. We
Cover
need to
the book with your face.
Go
Cover
to
the
your
book with
left.
your face.
Go to your left. Go to your left. Yes.
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Send
like
the
that.
book up again.
We don't send the book. We don't want to see your face.
Basically,
up. Yes. Go up. 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 Leave the book up. Up. Yes.
Up again.
Yeah. Come down. Come down some more again.
Decolonization and Afrofeminism.
Decolonization and Afrofeminism. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
It's by Sylvia Tamele, for those who want to read. See, me as
where is she Nigerian, Cameroonian?
No, she's a Ugandan.
Ugandan, okay.
Yeah, she's a Ugandan. I used to think I can only read novels until I came across this book. Oh, Jesus. This is good. So it's about decolonization. About decolonization of everything. Religion, economics, education, politics, and feminism. All of these things put together. And she's a celebrated writer, actually. And she's celebrated because of, this book is one of those books that she's really celebrated for it. And one of the reasons why she's talking about this Afrofeminism is because feminism, like I mentioned in the beginning, has to be practiced depending on the society. Our feminism back in Africa, it's never the same here. They found the world welcome, they didn't work here the same way. The way they treat widows them for Africa, they don't get in that system for here. So what we fight for as women, it's not the same things they fight here. But anyway, Sylvia was trying to talk about the fact that we are distancing ourselves from the word feminism because of its origin, the word, not the concept, the word, the origin from the West. Feminism, and you know how the West, you know how they did. And if you remember, right, Chiamanda Ngozi Adichie, you remember she's one of those African feminists who outrightly said she's an African feminist. She wanted to make this difference so that people don't get it really mixed up. So before all of this feminism stuff, right, left, center, there is a history, a deep history of the fact that women were struggling for their rights in Africa, even before this concept came up. There is a deep history of the fact that women were supporting their community even before colonial masters came. And that's why I said what I call toxic patriarchy was actually introduced by colonialism and all of this. Before that, women were highly respected. Yes, women were really highly respected according to their research. But the words that were used, not feminism, words were used like humanism. I think I saw somebody went to Wikipedia and she brought it again out. So they were using words like humanism. They were using words like feminism. And I think Stewarnism. The meaning of Stewarnism actually.
Stewarnism.
Yes.
From the word steward.
Not moment. Let me see if I can. Stewan, right? Stewanism. And Stewanism, the word is derived from the acronym of social transformation, including women of Africa.
Mm.
Yes, social transformation, including women of Africa. So we have womanism, we have Stiwanism, we have modernism, we have feminism, and all of this. These were the words, and these are the words even to today that most African feminists prefer to identify themselves to. And the reasons why they identify themselves to these words is because there is another concept of an African feminist from a feminist in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And African women identify themselves with this because they believe more in negotiation with the men than trying to fight the men.
Mm-hmm.
They know that in order for us to have a position where we have to be paid like this, where we say, okay, we are also working as footballers, female footballers, we need to be paid also well because we are bearing the same risk as the men and all of this. It's not about fighting the men. It's not about trying to dethrone the men. It's rather about working with the men. So because of all of these concepts, they kind of really still boil down to the same thing. Negotiation, because there's also Negro feminism. It's about negotiation, bringing the men to the negotiation table so we work this together. And if we look at it, all of this, right? Now it doesn't me book no make a grace. Let's go read book. If we look at this in reality, if I work with my husband in agreement of all of this, we are not fighting each other. You will discover that your husband will be the one fighting, that you need to be well paid at your job site with another man you're doing the same job with, and all of these things. But because of all this misconception, people have now limited feminism to marriage in such a way that you hear people talking about pay. And then that's why the first thing when women start talking about I pay, I'm independent, I'm receiving it as a feminist, I can work and I can also take care of the bills. Men now start feeling like, are you trying to rub shoulders? Are you trying to rub shoulders with me? Of which that was not the aim of feminism. There are a lot of things involved in feminism, which I really want to mention now. I don't know if there's anybody here who is from Bali. In Bali, when a woman loses the husband, she has to go through mourning period for 3 months.
Only?
Yes, not money, not in ordinary. When I explain the period before you understand, ask whether you ask whether that only 3 months. In these 3 months, she's not allowed to sleep on a mattress. I don't know which of the Balis. She has a special bed. She has
now we kill the man or not just normal widow.
They don't care because all the process where they make an apple make sure say no be you kill the man. So now whether they do auditing.
Sally John says he's from Bali. Sally John, anyway, Bali there.
Yeah, no, that one I thought, yes. Never I say I don't know the Bali Sally John, but it's just like really my material be very far enough for me for check all those things. But yes, it was actually written by somebody from Bali. So she has this special bed she has to sleep on, no mattress, and she has to sleep there for months in somewhere in the kitchen. And she's not supposed to shower. There are days she's not allowed to be showered. And the days she's allowed to be showered, the day she's allowed to be showered, they take her to a special, okay, Balinyonga, he says I'm right. They take her to a special river to shower her there, shave her hair, shave her private parts, and all of those things. And she's supposed to be in, they say leave or whatever. And then they bring her back. She sleeps on that bed again for some months. They take her again to that place. They shower her with all of these things and do some rituals. And when they are sure that she did not kill her husband, that is when she is free. This is what is happening in our own, this is where we come from, in our own country. And when I hear things like this, and then I begin to wonder, what are feminists fighting for when there are things like that to fight about? That's what feminism is about. Because why should a woman be treated like that when a man will not be treated like that? They won't treat a man like that because it's not human enough. But
the Bali people, I don't know about that. The men, when their women die, they do her, they jogo marry the woman.
Yes, it be okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know about some person say they run away Bali this thing. I don't know about Kambe. Even some person they fear na Kambe. I got about this too from Kambe.
My very good friend is from Bali, Nyonga. She never told me this. She never mentioned.
From Kambe, I think if somebody is also listening and you're from Kambe, if it's still existing, please let me know. When a woman's husband dies in Kambe, what happens is this: her head is completely shaved and she is tied to the bed where her husband's corpse is laying for days.
That she's tied by the bed, tied to the bed.
Tied. Yes, she's tied. Like they don't keep it, they tie for the bed. They go through rituals. That not even go far because sometimes some people feel the only for Northwest. Yaoundé. When your husband dies, you have a position to sit in that position.
Not so feminist and day for come. When I see when I go, when I go do the work way release stuff here. So they work now on feminism.
Honestly, this is what I am giving. This is what I am giving to feminists. Before we start say feminism means you get to go find your master for house. We have a lot of work to do. A lot. Now when I say someone can write for comment section, you feminists, I laugh. Someone can talk, I'm a feminist. I laugh. There is so much work as feminists to do.
Exactly. Because I know the feminists, they work at
the feminism, the married self. Nobody most of the son around there, they be all married.
Okay, see, Sally John say every tradition has a logical explanation. I agree with you, Sally John, right? I really agree with you on that. But you know,
explanation is logical.
Is it humane? Is it humane?
It's not about logical explanation. Now, how humane? How humane the tradition is, right?
That's not about logical explanation. Even if you go back then, killing of twins, they had an explanation to it.
They had an explanation, but it's not logical.
But is it humane?
That's a logical explanation.
What do you mean by logical explanation?
I know why they laugh. I really wish feminists are listening to us. Why?
Feminists, I don't tell you, say, they talk the things so be. Feminists, they never know their story where they explain of here. Secondly, feminists, yes. That's what I'm saying. I know you see them for comment section.
You don't hear somebody comment. You don't hear somebody comment. Someone said there's a logical explanation to everything. So when they did
it's kind of feminist. Now Sally John no be feminist. I define a feminist.
You don't understand. When I struggle talk now say no. These are the defensive mechanism people give to treat women like that. And they'll talk about logical.
Okay, I get you.
Yes. These are the defensive mechanism. Because you see how you should you feel say that people they take that woman go shave a private part. For what now men they need one. No. Now woman they did one. And now mostly woman then a widow then too. And guess what? The writer to be strong of give an ideology like I went through this. Me to pass through this thing. You get it. And that's why they don't stop it.
No.
They don't stop them.
And then tonight I didn't some comment. So the person where Papa got my head the exo boom 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 boom. I think we like China. So feminists now people they don't run married. Now who talks to no? Why not this story?
Now me I talk. Most of them don't run married no.
Why they run married? Why they run married?
They don't be independent or they don't work, they get money, no, they be independent.
That misconception, they don't deceive themselves with them. I'm telling you, these are things feminists, those who they carry feminism with a plantain chips. Now, if we lecture this for now, can't listen them, start movement them to correct place.
Because you see, this way, once you want to approach a woman, you start it starts from it's kind of it has a level of primitivity that it goes along with it. This of course this I don't even like to give them the term feminist because they don't deserve it. They are something else. They have it comes with a magnitude of primitivity. A guy wants to approach a girl, and the girl, just like any other woman, playing smart, keeping her guard, not giving herself so quick. Of course, every woman will do that to show value to herself. But when you see when you see these so-called feminists, they tell you, hey, I don't be that kind of woman there. I dey work my money, I dey do me this. So you are giving men the impression that they have to go only for women who don't have money of their own. You understand what I mean? When a man
Exactly.
wants to approach you, and the only reason you're playing tough is because you have a job, you're doing well. Okay, so women should be approached by men, only women who don't have a job, who don't have anything. Okay, because men come as providers. Does it mean we should go for people who are not independent? Because I don't get the sense. I don't get the sense. I see it all over. You know, to me it has a level of primitivity in it. A guy wants to approach you, play your guard, do whatever thing to show value to yourself. But when you start warning people that, hey, do na beginning, I get my work, I get my money, I get my this. So is that stopping a man? Should that stop a man from approaching you? You know, this is the primitive idea that most of them have. And then now, when they finally fall into the relationship and then marriage comes in, they still they look at their job, they look at their money or whatsoever as their own contribution in marriage.
Exactly.
You see, they start looking at their job and everything, their money, as their own contribution in marriage, of which we know a lot of men who have given money and job and things of such like in marriage as their own contribution, and women still express their dissatisfaction. Women will not like a man that will pay all the bills, even give you huge sum of amount as allowance, but he's never there at home. He's always out. He's never showing you that love and concern, that attention and nothing. He's not being a husband. He's just being a provider. You still leave such a man to go and cheat. So why, when a woman has this same thing, this same qualities as the attributes like money, jobs, and wealth in marriage, and that's what she wants to use, like, she's contributed a lot in that marriage, and the man deserves something else from her. So this is just a primitive idea coming from all this. I'm still looking for a word to term these women, because I don't want to just call them feminists, because they don't deserve the word feminist.
Yes,
Maybe I should just give them the name, this bitter feminist or this confused feminist.
No, take out the word feminist from it, Bison. Why am I saying this? Because
yes, let's take out the word feminist, actually.
I like the fact that you say you don't want to even give them this title feminist. Why am I saying this? Because on the other side, people who are glamoring for the fact that I'm not a feminist, they tag just anyone a feminist. That's the misconception on the other side that we have not handled yet. Just because a lady makes a comment on Facebook, first of all, I get my own for chop. I don't even need the man. Hey, feminist. Now that. Why? Because we have a misconception of who a feminist is supposed to be. For somebody who understands, looking at all these things we have talked about, you know, go call any person say feminist, because that person will be feminist. That person get always his own agenda where it actually follows. So she's not a feminist for saying that she doesn't want to get married. Somebody not getting married is not a feminist. You know, anything for doing feminism.
Sometimes the person don't talk say they get married because he be feminist. No. Now for woman get a definition for feminism. Look at this comment. Look at this comment. If you see where eugenics is coming from, it shows that whoever lady he is referring to has the mindset of, I'm not getting married, not because I choose the life of celibacy, but because I'm a feminist. And according to you, according to the supposed woman, feminism is tantamount to not wanting a man. So I cannot be. You know,
it's so horrible. I mean, it is so horrible for some kind of way. Now I say, please, if you don't know what's in feminism, I better bring that eugenics comment back. If you don't know
eugenics comment, the one that I want to put up, then eugenics own.
The eugenics comment. Okay, Mary, this one.
I'll put the comment back. Yeah.
Okay, I've never really understood what the feminist thing is, especially here in Cameroon. Can a woman really be without a man her whole life? We need men in order to be on track. You need a man to submit to. If not, money can make women misbehave.
So
You
that was
see,
the comment now I was showing that I was trying to say that you see
exactly,
that
Susie,
the
Susie,
definition of these things vary from individuals.
Susie, this is what I'm just saying. I'm saying that feminism is not a contrary word to marriage. It's feminism is not a contrary word to lesbianism, because that's another thing that
Yeah, yeah. So
yes,
of course,
people
yeah, of course, like
yes,
that person now goes to say, okay, I don't want a
exactly.
man. I can do
Because
with
I
a
want to be a
woman.
lesbian. No, it's not a contrary. I mean, those are not two opposite words. You can be married and be a feminist. You can be single, you're a feminist. You can be a lesbian feminist. Anybody can be a
Yeah.
feminist, actually. So don't get it. See the eugenistic comment. This is so powerful. Feminism was about giving women a chance to contribute in the society, and it shouldn't attack the family setup. Perfect. I think this is what we've been saying. It has nothing to do about the family setup. It's about contributing to the society. And Majo mentioned it today for my brother, the way they be so threatened. When you say your woman want go, when your woman want go work, you're so threatened about this whole thing. More understanding. There's some things I cannot sit here. This is me, a woman. I'm on social media. I'm talking. I read from men saying I'm learning a lot. Thank you, people, for learning a lot. Thank you, people. This is so wonderful. Then me, I got the glamour, say me woman no work. I'm impacting your life. Can you also allow your wife impact another person's life? Eugenics is saying that this is contributing to the society. This is me contributing to the society by being able to sit here and talk. And I could get paid from this. And if they pay me, guess what? If my husband began to give me 50,000 as my pocket allowance, sometimes you'll give me now 40,000. Say, child, you don't let me with that extra thing. It saves. It saves a lot. Because it means that I'm not fully dependent on you. And secondly, there are some things we shouldn't forget, right? Men, please. When you hear that your woman wants to work, moon and be threatened. Because unfortunately, it don't happen. I say you feel die. Anything happen. You die, we don't see that situation the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we don't see that situation the way man did die on all and other for a family. Because a woman be depend on you for everything. Like for everything. So I think a woman really wanting to even have something doing, it should be an added something. Now, why not would it a negotiation, right? And it talk now in terms of a family setup. It's a negotiation. Would it work? This is something added to our family. But you're not supposed to upset when I rules them. My man nasty man. I don't know how I feel explain it. What am I draw? The just say my draw my economy.
If I can't draw, no, we don't count with explanation, count with book. If I just count with diagram.
I told you, sir. You will call
The thing too is that
you wanted to say something, please go on.
yeah, it is the other side of what you were saying. So the men who truly, because I've come across very reasonable men whose wives are working. Lots of women are working nowadays now, and they're married. So we want to also see it at that, like, where is it coming from? Hopefully that the women who have been empowered enough to work understand that and know their limits. Because you now go empower woman, he come out, the man don't grease me go work, he come now, can be now, and say be the yeah, and the man now, that's where eugenics comments was saying that thing of equality, don't bring it into the home. Say okay, this and that, just be in your lane as a woman, the man be in the lane as a man, and whatever roles that you guys are functioning in. Because normally now if you tell some man say me go me woman the work, say leave your woman. If I may go out there, go out, the woman don't leave, and the woman now come, the man don't leave a woman go to work, then the woman now come back for house. The man know the get chop. The man know the get sex, irregular sex. The man know the picking they need to be taken care of. Now for day way now, because sometimes we will say, okay, that salary to threaten the men. Might not necessarily be just the salary. The woman feels the job work, now work don't take a position. Then the man now they deny and say, I know still want I may go that work, not be because I be threatened, because I think say chop no the day for the house, unlike time when you know be the work before. Yeah, so I just wanted to put that balance just so that we know. So that woman they no come out go for work for guess the primary way they be get to do and at home. Your primary assignment, first of all, before any hunting of job would work, I find out within life for outside it, let that balance be.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I really agree. But like, because I think this is the misconception, all of this. Because if you say you don't work down, you get to now forget completely about
Measure up or measure
yes, you
up,
want to
yeah.
measure up. You really forget which way you're supposed to talk. And Sally John saying something really powerful here. Feminism is in my opinion, is just realization and promotion of a woman's potential in every aspect of life, except being a husband. Very powerful. Very powerful.
Nana Saleh John can't be sensitive.
No, but keep to that tradition. No, forget about that tradition, but that time to he don't talk say it corrects, don't even. So but the one he talk, it makes sense, right? Like except being a husband, because that's the way you don't marry a man to take a woman's place is in the kitchen. It ends. It just ends completely. So your potentials are dead.
Enough even be practical. I think so that a woman's role is places in the kitchen. No fee even first be practical. I mean, say if you wake also to say, you are relegated. You yourself, I feel say you the man self go wake us on there. Can't just say, sister, I beg if you move, come out for that kitchen small, also come for side for the other. So this was set up. This especially this time, this dispensation, it can hardly work that way. So sometimes people, that's why you see at the and say people they don't say person a woman's role is in the kitchen and limiting it to it, wanting to be literal like that, literally speaking. It really how feasible is that? Use yourself for this word dispensation. How feasible is that? Is it mere as we thought say sometimes a metaphor or whatever figure of speech that is?
No,
so actually, Delhi, that kitchen, to me, I think it wasn't
the kitchen thing.
Kitchen per se. I think it's domestic. So. A woman's since as they couldn't get a significant place which is a domestic place, so they just use the kitchen to cover up all other domestic rooms like kitchen, laundry room, and all that. A woman's place is in the kitchen. You cook, you do laundry. Yeah, you cook, you do laundry, enter bedroom, cook, do laundry, enter bedroom. So my life began for day.
Exactly.
If you say correct man, you enjoy a woman. If your woman leaves you, enjoy a woman. You know you enjoy a woman.
This song now for you, you know what a woman should be and waiting for enjoy. But wait
if I ever spot your woman from a distance, we don't try.
I don't want someone to get out of
the woman just wearing an apron all time now.
Let me show her an apron. Let's say the Agna is Zaura.
Wait.
That is Zaura movie where series will start beginning to end in some amidable day from here.
Apron, I should have not blouse them.
Beginning series take almost 9 months. I'm never move apron. I said, the need change clothes. I am leave your woman for that level. 9 months. Apron.
Siame, I want to get out of the dangers of limiting ourselves, like I talked from the beginning, to what we can see.
Talk about Kambe tradition. I wanted you to give those. I think you had examples that you wanted to give because the intensity of what we say is based on examples. Trust me, we can see that. That's why when each time we're defining concepts, you want to give examples for people to really understand. Because if we talk talk, go ask questions for people that you wash hand. They be understand how the show today they talk about. When you now give examples, because when you give examples, you make it relatable. So as you see the way we talk about the Bali culture. Now people are saying yes, that's what's happening. Now for them now some people see they say this is where you are needed to go and shine the light or let your voices be heard. Not be brad the fair what they do and with man picking them. And that's a perfect example where we need to hear more women decry that and say this is wrong. It is not supposed to be like this, regardless of whatever justification where Sally John be the struggle of explaining for this justification on objectivity or whatever be for this. So the difference you see when you talked about say Bali get their three for crime man picking I don't know if that's for Ngi their culture. Now say na or it's an individual thing like you decide. Because I remember my mom did 1 year white, all through for wear white. You know that all true. That's why when you said 3 months, I was like, only because I was looking at it in that light, like, okay, your morning you can wear black or you can wear white. Then you now because she actually wore white, or if you get a three matter of fact, even a three clothes, the way be know all through wear unto 1 year. Then after he complete that more well morning period for her, she now went and took off that, and then now she could wear other things and all of that. So that is now different, you know. So we could be looking at area angles where feminists, those who have decided to carry on the plantain chips on their head, which is fair enough. Everybody has a right to it, to know where to come in, where to strike a balance, what to propose, you know, to well, hopefully some kingmakers are listening, because at the end of the day, all the tradition they talk about, so we definitely talk, and so that kingmakers they just laugh their head, they say idiot them. What are they talking about social media? Anyway, just continue.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I mentioned that Campbell example. Now, so sometimes you don't forget. What I say the
No, I
Thai
like
woman for bed.
to. Oh, okay,
What I say
okay.
the Thai woman for bed
Mm-hmm.
for where money cops. In
Mm-hmm.
money cops, they didn't know. Can you remember?
Yeah, for so do
Mm.
her.
Can you
So
remember? I
do her.
mentioned
Yes, I do.
she has
I
to be there
mean,
for some days until the man is. Yes, then they do some rituals to make sure she's not the one who killed the man. I beg, if you're Campbell here and that tradition no longer holds, forgive me. But a Campbell friend actually told me this, I think some years back, and
okay.
yeah, something like
Is
that.
it is
So
it for
there is
situations where they suspect that, because you know it could be different
no,
if they're
no, no,
suspecting
no,
that you.
no. It doesn't have to be suspecting sis, because if you look at it right, even in our community now,
Mm-hmm.
forget those people the way they know they for village, where they need to go tie you for bed, they need to take you for some water for body for wash you right. In
Mm-hmm.
most cases, when man die, in-laws that they ever find way for connect the woman inside. There is always a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Well,
always.
I
Connect them.
personally we saw that when that those, you remember those are the roles that Mama G used to act. This was
Thank
Mama G
you.
took out enough time to explain that in Nigerian movies. We saw
Mm-hmm.
most of those things there. Now, for those of us maybe who grew up in town, back
Mm-hmm.
town, not understanding exactly what was happening in those villages, I think Mama G brought it to the limelight like that. A lot
Exactly.
of it. The only
Yeah.
person the guy, they even go wash the man, they give the water, say me you drink
Me
It
drink
used to
am.
be those, you know, those
Yes.
were
Yeah.
things that yes, it
See,
had
I
to be
mean, if
destroyed.
we get into suburbs of our country, if we get into
Mhm.
the suburbs of our country, right? Thanks, sweeties. And my grandson tells me I look so good. See, if we get into the suburbs of our countries, or our country, might talk now only Cameroon, forget about Africa, we will
Mhm.
surprised at the things people go through in the name of widowhood. Like really
Yeah.
surprised. I see somebody is saying that some tradition in some traditions the women are asked to sit on the floor in the room. Yes. Some person go talk,
Where the corpse was kept.
and no, the cops could even be in the mortuary, or because I'm even trying to drive to the fact that somebody could read this and say, well, now for which village so now which place they never civilized. When I see the tradition, a wonder people for Yaoundé, I don't observe her firsthand
Mhm.
less than 7 years ago. Firsthand. Person man die, he gets some particular position, he gets to shit up for days until the day they'll bury that man. And the day when they go move that man cops, they can't stand the cops, first of all. They take you go for some place where you go there, some small place, like in a small shrine. They judge you for day. They even get for judge you whether he be married woman, whether he be first the man, the woman, first of all. You know, look out self, the family go even deny say no be the woman.
This one now
They,
how you there for Bayangi? Mo
they
yeah
get to
Bayangi.
judge you. They get to judge you. That way they agree. Say be married
You
woman.
like
In the
you like
glass,
me here bang in that thing.
Oh yeah Bayangi. So they
Actually,
finish now for they do her.
honestly, I don't know for Bangi, honestly. But I just know say I think you know before the man before they bury the man before they bury the husband, the
mm-hmm,
woman always she don't have a floor. Now one thing that I know,
mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
you always sit down for floor
Yeah.
until they bury a man. For floor you go sit down.
Yeah.
Now
And
one thing that I know I be sure about for buying.
yeah. Because since we talk, you mentioned in a way the feminist them. If you're here as a feminist, some things you want to pick up. I mean, tomorrow I don't know what you
Yes,
want to
yes.
start.
Yeah,
I don't
even
know
for
what you
we
want to
like
start. But pick up it
I
from
be don't
this.
send you the extract because since when you be tell me about your love
Money,
for money.
money.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
but even though it's not money Kim the money Kim being one of those not those societies for buying we they will do
Female genital
FGM.
mutilation, right?
Yes,
About
they were
female
doing
genital
FGM.
mutilation.
Yes, they will do
Yeah.
FGM. Now them be the do am. Now the mommy they be the do am for small girl them. They
Yeah.
hold them. The thing is, they were teaching young girls how to become really housewives. You learn cooking, you learn dancing, you learn different things about culture, you learn that. But at the end of the day, they will do this mutilation for the girls. You see,
Yeah.
but now it doesn't happen anymore because no man will fit accept them again for me
Yeah.
happen for pikin. But this morning Kim training, it is still go on because it's a means to pass culture from one generation to the other. But for that female, but even though there are still places for Manu where they sit do as we speak today, there are still places where female genital mutilation is being done. But
Mm.
it's really they really do it sacredly, and people come to know about it only after the repercussions are taking place. Maybe some sickness, barrenness, and things like that. You
That
see
Exactly.
thing,
some
that thing was
yes,
really at some point there. It
Breast
was.
yeah,
iron.
They fought
Breast
they fought
iron.
for that female genital mutilation. As young as I was, I used to hear about it, not really understanding exactly. I think until I got to travel, before
Yeah.
I think I met this person who was really showing me images and stuff about how
yes,
that process was. And these are the things that like seriously, I think we were supposed to have this topic for people to really understand where to channel their energies to, because we'll be fighting a lost battle or a pointless battle, limiting this feminism um movement
see,
on marriages
let me tell
and
you,
man and woman,
tell you.
because
Let,
that's
let me
that's
let,
literally it. So if men
see,
have joined the movement, because I know of so many men who identify themselves as
No, men
feminists,
are there. So many.
if
So
if
many.
men have joined the movement, it is to encourage women that, you know what, this, we are together in this, just so that another man should see and understand that, hey, my fellow men are also doing this. And so why other men they can't support women then for divide we, if this thing is about fighting man and woman? I need us to
Exactly.
see it like that, at that level, to
Yeah.
understand that this feminism thing, we're not talking about toxic feminism, because we might as well choose a time to come really talk about toxic feminism if we want to talk about it, to understand where you
I
people are
think it's a
getting at. But
misconception,
I
right?
think
I
we
think
should
we have talked
rather,
about it, right, sis? I mean, if we look, I don't talk about it already because it's toxic feminism is about the misconception.
no,
That's the
the,
truth.
properly talking about it is showing the dangers of it and all of that,
Ah,
and showing
okay.
all of
Okay.
those things, how if it,
uh,
it could be possible. Because I always say that when we are having a particular topic and then we start talking about for instance, you want to talk about feminism. Remember, say if we take toxic feminism, start talk about inside here, all the positive sides you've brought, all the look at this thing, look at this example, we'll not go focus on. We'll only look now
mm,
the birds.
mm,
And I don't like
mm,
to handle topics like that. I like to take a topic, look at the positive sides of it, look at exactly what is happening, take now the other side and really break it down, so that people who are running with a misconception should really see where they're going wrong with it, you see. And knowing now, look at the responsibilities of a feminist. Somehow we are touching that, but it doesn't seem like it is even something in the society nowadays. If you say, okay, feminists are doing a wonderful job, people they feel who you stone them, say
No,
the
no,
people who are
agree.
doing those
Actually,
things,
on the
you
contrary,
know.
sorry for cutting you. On the contrary, the
Mhm.
real feminists are not on Facebook. Now just because they would
So
look,
I don't hear no. Don't put it
no,
on
no,
that
no.
talk.
I'm
So
sorry. I'm trying to say.
now that yes,
Bishop, I know you have something to say. I'll come back to you, please.
No, I did
The
talk myself.
thing,
So the people they really want to argue with social media. They don't be
no, no,
feminist.
no, no. On the contrary, I'm sorry to say this, guys. The real feminists are not on Facebook because when I see people what they talk about.
If you do on Facebook, we say you're feminist. You are a fake feminist.
No, 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 no. Sorry. Would it talk this thing then I saw that the people with a misconception about feminism, if you want to be one, there are ways to go about it in order to be one. But guess what? We have so many feminists back home who do not even call themselves, they don't even put up the cap of feminism, but they are doing the jobs of feminism. Now, why don't we do so?
And if I find them for comment section today, it's kind of see them.
This on talk about female genital mutilation where it don't be reduced, you know, there for some part for man done by feminists.
Yes.
Education
Yes.
where they fight them done by feminists. The issue why they talk about Campbell say they tie woman for this thing. So if it not, it still happen, done by feminists. And guess what, guys? Just so we may understand, when there is a problem between a man and a woman in Cameroon, for some of us who are not informed, when there is a problem, a marital problem between a husband and a wife, not be feminists then the Siam. No, then you go for Women Empowerment Center. Because for Women Empowerment Center, they handle women empowering and they handle marital issues between a man and a woman. Not be feminists, then they meet up and make no mistake. And when there is a problem between a man, a woman, and then a child is involved, they go for social welfare. Not be feminists, then they meet up. Feminists then get their work. And they have the associations. They have these NGOs. We have a lot of them in Cameroon, many of them in Bamenda. They are handling these issues. And guess what? When these women go out there to talk to women in the rural areas, to talk to women in the urban areas, they need talking about husband and wife. No. Personally, I don't get workshop for Cameroon for things like this. And I be told, we'll not be talking about husband and wife for this. We're talking about empowering a rural woman who might need maybe to do a small business for herself, to empower herself and have something in order to eat.
I still remember that thing we're talking about, this, especially on these examples that you're listing like that. Like the people who come and they're arguing on social media, you the empower now who sister, you the empower which empower, tell me who you don't empower them. People they even say, oh, we are feminists, we are proud to be you ask this, are you proud for being feminist now just for the title of the name or which is people who like Emma the talking, the people who are the real feminists are there. They need to work and make the noise they want and they make them for the social media.
They're not for
Emma.
And if you ask them, see, I'm dealing with a feminist. I deal with a feminist where if you want to tell me somebody give you a name, I will say, Mommy, you be feminist because actually be the work, it be been a delegate for Women Empowerment Center for a very long time before he retire. So she's doing her private things. If I want to talk with you now, I feel to give a name say feminist, but guess what? As Mommy, the way they know they for that overturn them, you know, go call herself a feminist. But the thing she does, she's not on Facebook to do these things.
I said that's what I was talking with. At least this conversation came up. I told somebody that I don't identify myself like a feminist, but if we are going by what a feminist is, I'm more of a feminist than most of you people advocating for feminism and all of that. Because if you look at it, it is the work they are doing. It is when it also you empower woman, you empower woman. You empower woman when their argument.
No, according to the
woman don't do something wrong.
Feminist.
You have to stand with a woman. You have to now the empowerment. You see the empowerment with this social media where they empower woman. No, don't do something wrong. We can't stand with you. We have to stand with women. We have to stand with women. Not be feminism that. Don't forget yourself. Not be feminism.
Now wrong stand, sis. Now wrong stand. I said they wear wrong shoe for stand. They the time you have to tell women. I said they wear the wrong shoe. You see the two ways. So woman they go fight. Say me the need mature widows. You know. I say some person don't comment after here. You see the thing they already talk about. That means standing with a woman.
Yes.
You say, as I'm a fellow woman, why they get to maltreat a fellow woman because a man don't die? Yes. Another man go come out talk say, I be man picking, but I understand a woman is a human. I'm a feminist. Why?
That's a feminist. Yes.
A woman. So now don't say they are using the right word, but they are using the wrong shoes. They start with the wrong shoes. Then this song, I'm really sorry. Please go ahead and talk.
No, I didn't have much to say. I just wanted to talk about we have given this because Delhi was saying now that for all the things you've been talking here, actually I've really learned a lot. And Delhi was asking, say where the feminists and they made it, would define them for comment section. We need to see, and I say
Sylvia Pen. Sylvia Pen is there.
the thing is they can never be, they will never be here. You understand? And let me tell you,
Emma don't go
this
give them
is
work. Plenty work.
no,
They shut up with the house. Don't be this way. They be
no,
planning for
you
work.
never,
Not be so their
yes,
workload be plenty.
no, that's not the workload because you know why?
Hmm.
These people are not, they just use the name feminist for height. You understand? Me, I give the I don't give the name say now them be marital terrorists. Because if you look,
Thank you. I like
you
that.
see, yeah, me, I give the name say na marital terrorists.
Rebels. No, or maybe
If
rebels. Rebels.
yeah, yes, marital rebels. Because the thing is, look at them. If there are 100 of them, right? 100 of them, 60 they're married on chakara already. You understand? No, half of them they're married already chakara. They know they're married again. Half of them they're married on chakara. The other 50 will remain. 30 inside that 50 will remain. They're married now, one step in, one step out. That means say quarter two.
You see the way you explain that thing, so I that means the way I wish someone would take the particular topic so break am because get it on Chris Emma. I dey struggle with explain am for you say if you know what girls are doing out there in the name of feminism now.
Yes, and then the other 20 now one the way relationship don't pass them. They are not able to see. Yeah, I tell you, in this
So
group,
now break down that percentage for you. So
I should have my own small area where this place I do statistics. I tell you, they are not able to keep a relationship, to even sustain a relationship for 1 week. As you see them, so they are not able to sustain a relationship for 1 week. So now they have decided to rebel against marriage and anything relationship around them. So as Emma give the name say marital rebels or relationship rebels, they are rebelling against it. Unfortunately for them, the word marriage will never go into extinction. It always be there. You understand? So it's a lost fight already. But now, since they can't identify themselves as marital rebels, they look for something that they will go under the canopy and win souls. It's just like they don't say Christianity. They so even wish people they don't come, I can hide under canopy for Christianity.
Thank you.
You enter some church where the pastor na fake pastor, but you're surprised to say inside that church where it been led by a fake pastor, they are true Christians. You understand? So this is what they are doing. They don't just enter inside some umbrella for feminism because they want something that they'll identify themselves, which will be common in the society. Because their talk of feminism has nothing to do with all the things you've listed out. It has nothing to do with, but it's all about marriage. Marriage, the man don't do so, the boy don't do so, the this don't do that, the this don't do that. Now, country that
it is truly a battle against men.
Yes,
truly a battle against men.
It's a battle against men. Now,
that's all. If you want, you just take this thing, put on people their mouth, say what is feminism. You just start the talk. You hear wonders. Sometimes they even find you for street before you come out with the microphone. Say,
I tell you,
ask them.
We now come to that level. So it is chakara they go small. We never see the feminist group to say no. We as women, because of this struggle, we are suffering the most part of it. We stop the violence against women. No, they don't
do. They don't do. But that one they don't try. They don't try. Yeah, Emma don't come out there. She's gonna come up very soon. You know, for that, it's been a lot of movements that have come up. People have come up to talk. But like I said, if you really don't take our time to educate the masses on these things, the differences, and tell them where to draw the line this young generation, they really miss them. They're missing it a lot. Let me see whether Emma never come back, because obviously Emma is the one moderating. Guys, have you shared the video? Bison, then they ask you question. Guys, share the video. Now pump hearts now. For those of the rest of you watching, pump us hearts. Always pump us hearts. While we wait for B to come back, I'm not sure. Maybe her phone went off or something. So if you're just joining, guys, we've been on about feminism, and we've been talking about it, feminism in the African context. We've looked at what feminism is all about. We've given different examples as to what it is, especially from us back home, and to understand the roles of a feminist. So if you are advocating, it's fair enough for you to follow whatever movement. But if you're advocating for whatever movement, courtesy demands that you at least take out time to understand what it entails. And so you know that you're fighting, this is what you're fighting, this is what you're fighting, and this is where you are needed, and how much of your energy, your resources are you channeling into that cause. It doesn't just suffice for you to come on social media and you argue people and you say this and that, and you tell people, okay, this and that, that they are trying to be, I see some words people say, we're trying to look to be the pick me women. So they try to tell me they be say they pick me, and I always tell you people that the work some of us do, we don't, I don't identify as a feminist, but guess what? All Martin edition I say feminism because I empower you people, the women more. You understand? It's always women. If I say 10 things to women,
You have
3
always
things
been
to
out
men,
there
I'll
to
say
protect
10
the
to women.
young girls.
And the young girls. And we try to bring in the young women. Why? Because you learn at an early age. When they don't come of age, you cannot really pass in this information like that. Everybody has a school of thought. Everybody has a narrative. But when you're still young there, we can groom you and show you the right path to go. I think Emma is back.
Sorry, guys, my internet kicked me out of the. And this is a very important thing. So I don't miss out because both of my phones just went completely off.
Yeah, the round up for winner. Tell me the next two more.
Yeah, okay. So thanks so much, Bison. I mean, you were really saying something important. I think you were talking about this misleading people who are using the wrong word, the wrong name for feminism. And in the beginning, we remember I said the concept is also like Christianity. It's really the same like it.
The same.
Yes, it's the same because there are a lot of people who are hiding behind Christianity to do terrible
crazy
things. There are people out there who say they are Muslims, but wait till they do them. You should say if they want to ask Muhammad as the person they believe in, you should say Muhammad, but they say that in that way.
So one that says we still to brethren.
You know, you go one that say who send una for God represents me for that kind of way. So I think it's just the same with feminism. And the worst about feminism is that people never took out time to learn what the concept is all about. They never took out time to learn what they are supposed to do. But just so we may know, ladies, there is a lot to do as feminists if you want to be one. And look out for those young girls who are being, their genitals are being mutilated. Look out for those young girls. Instead of you putting this energy on men, put it on these young girls. That is the meaning of standing for girls. That's the meaning of standing for women. Wear the right shoe when you want to stand.
And for the men to consider women as their own, like their daughters. When you see men who stand up to be, they say they are feminists, they are looking at a woman and imagine saying, my mommy this. You a man, think about and say the tie your mommy for corner bed. Because if you as a man, you don't take this fight to yourself and say, it could be my mother, it could be my sister, it could be my daughter, you will never also understand feminism, because when they are talking this thing, the man is also fighting the woman. Not just the women fighting the men are also fighting the woman. And not be bride fair for man and woman thing.
Exactly.
It is not.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Deli. You don't make a member. One of the terms that I talked about feminism, right? One of the terms the way they use feminism, where they use them in place of feminism for African context. And the reason why they use that particular word now, because they're referring to women that reproductive organs them, how important it be The fact say modernism, like now woman they be in charge of, bringing forward life. It's all about respecting that aspect of a woman, that reproductive aspect. I mean, I'm just saying to support the facts, like you talk, say some man go look and to say, child, if the mama me they become video, like how does it feel, like
Then
that?
they get to advocate for women. That's how feminism is the
That's
best,
how
and it
feminism
go.
is.
I'll be
You
saying you
see,
work at drag robe woman. I pay
yeah,
B, you pay B.
I pay you, baby.
Sometimes the
Thank
things I
I
you.
see
tell
in
you,
this social
say,
media.
Please, can you, Bison, can you just do your roundup conclusion so that Delio is also, because I think she's saying something important. She could say it
yeah,
in
let
form
me,
of rounding up.
okay,
And
okay, let me. The only thing I want to say is, as a man, I'll first start by advising my fellow brothers out there that this issue of switching gender roles, it's one thing they should be very careful about, and we should be as men and take upon our responsibilities as men. And even though we really want to give women this opportunity for them to go their full potentials, they should achieve whatever they want. It's not a battle between men versus women. It has never
mm,
been a battle.
mm,
Feminism has nothing as a battle between a man and a woman. It is
mm,
always been about giving women the opportunity to achieve whatever they wish, they desire in life.
mm.
There's this saying that I always see sometimes on Facebook, like it's a question or a wish. They say a man should wish, um, a man should pray that he prays that his daughter, his daughter's husband will treat his daughter exactly the way he treats his wife.
Yeah.
So if you start thinking about that the way you treat women, that's how your daughters will be treated by men as well. So you start when you have this, as Delhi just talked something similar to that. When you have this in mind, you start being very careful the way you start treating people, especially women you meet outside. You start being very careful that the way I'm treating this woman, this may be my daughter tomorrow with another man. So
Mm,
you just, yeah, so it's not all, it's not anything as a battle. But when we come across, because these rebels are out there, lots of them are out there. When you come across them, stay away from any confrontation. Just be, if you are that guy who is a feminist, continue being a feminist, continue striving for women, pushing women, promoting women. When you meet these rebels, ignore them.
Check
They
this out. Why
don't
am I
just
use the
like
word
to
again? So
they don't
why am I
just
use
like
that
to
word
see
again? So
happy relationships. They don't like to see marriages. They don't like to see anything about when a man is caring for a woman or a woman is treating her man nicely. These are the things they don't like, you know. But I wish you go. I wish you all a happy Sunday.
I got so, I use the word again today. Okay.
Narebedena, narebedena.
Please go on, sis.
Right. So it's been a great show, and I've really learned a lot. I'm happy that we could shine some light on these things, because it's this misconception don't go out of hand. And you see, like I always say, that when some of us say that we don't want to identify ourselves as feminists, it is because of the misconceptions, and somehow you don't want to be explaining yourself. You don't go and take time for the explaining in a way some people will never get to understand. By putting it like this, talking about it, looking at it at different angles, understanding that a feminist could be a man as well. I mean, I think that changes the whole conversation, for
Mm,
especially those men who thought it was a battle against men and all of that.
mm,
And most of you
exactly.
arguing somehow you are feminist, you are. And just like Chimamanda said, every man, everybody should be a feminist. Everybody
Mm,
should be. Because there's
mm,
no man out there listening to me who doesn't want the daughter to be empowered. There's
exactly.
no, however you struggle to define it. If this is not a battle against a man and a woman, then it is a working together thing.
Mm,
And
yeah.
if it is that, if that's the case, then we can be assured that we are going to win this. So This is us coming together and looking at it. And you all always know I always bring in my Christian values. I always say that I don't like to follow movements like that. Okay, I'm doing this and that and that. Maybe we do it directly or indirectly. That fair enough. But I still think that in all of what we've explained and what Emma explained in the examples she gave, I kept seeing all of these things in scripture. Because this is the concept of love. You do unto others what you have, like Christ said, do unto others how you want them to do to you. When we look at those mothers, is that how you want your own mother to be treated? You tying that, is that what you want, how you want to be treated? So you see that Christianity would curb a lot of these things. In my opinion, I just feel like understanding the real meaning of Christianity and what the place of Christ will curb a lot of these things. Just being a Christian and understanding what the Bible says or the Word of God says will stop a lot of. In fact, Jesus was a feminist. Do you even know that? He was that person who would, when they wanted to stone a woman who was in adultery, guess
How
what?
you do not say
Jesus was.
How you do know that was the case? I was waiting if you don't mention, right? Because when they brought that woman to stone her, if I remember, it's as if the question was, where is the man she cheated or she slept
Yes.
with?
And Jesus was the one who defending the woman. So when I look at those who think that the opposite of feminism is patriarchy and it is the Bible, that anything that has to do with the Bible, I just look at you like it is stupidity speaking, because you don't even know what you're saying. Because the highest advocate of feminism in the real meaning of what feminism was Christ. And that's why I said, if we go by Christianity and the values of Christ and the principles of scripture, it will curb a lot of these social ills, all these cultural excesses that we have in and all of that. So to me, I like I said, Christians, go back to reading the Word of God and understanding the place of feminism in there. See all the women in Scripture and how empowered they were to be able to stand by the men. When Bible says that a woman be a helpmeet to the man, and only an empowered woman can help the man. Just so we know, even the men understand that if your woman is not empowered, she cannot help you.
She cannot.
No, just get that understanding. And I think that we can have a part B of this. Emma can still lead it anyways because she's more grounded in the topic, and then we can we start move some other jiga them. Some jiga they were fee say still they we go move for different shape.
That jiga them. I think see that this word that we brought today, in as much as I get to pray for being able to use the word I not step on those relationship rebels. I'll prefer, to be honest, I'll really prefer to call them relationship rebels. And anyway, this is what I have been I wanted to say in terms of conclusion. There's something people say, what a man can do, a woman can do better. That particular statement has been living, it has been alive for a very long time. And in as much as a lot of people believe in it, it's okay, it's fine when you really have a way of interpreting it. But if you ask me, I will say what a man can do, a woman might do it better. A woman might do it better.
Why am I saying do it even? You must not even go to do it. And so you must not even go to do it. Not be competition.
Exactly. No, why am I saying this? Because it's okay. Not be all to a man feed one, when me I feed one. Not be all to a woman feed one, when man feed one. But there are those things that we have in our mindsets that only a man or only a woman can do it. Yet when you give the opposite people, they are able to do it very well. If we look for a typical example, there for Europe, women that they drive train. I'm not talking about buses. I'm not talking about trams. I'm talking about trains.
You go for crans. On a cran, they call that thing. Crans. Yes, I've seen women doing that.
Which one is that?
Tram. The shorter one, intercity.
Construction site. I don't even talk about that intercity normal thing safe. I talk the train. I see them normal train. You get it. But when mindset go tell we say no, woman no fit do them. You get it. But when we use the word might, that's a woman doing it. But it doesn't mean she can do all things that a man can do. That's just what I want us to know, that there are these differences. And to conclude, guys, there's something about home that we shouldn't forget. And men are doing this. I've spoken to a huge number of women who are the ones taking care of their homes financially because their men do not care. Not because they are not working, but because they have led these women to do these things. And the women are in charge. They are doing it. financially. Now they sponsor that beginning. You go hardly ever know because they cover their men for this, because their men receive salaries and people conclude that they are the ones doing it. Some responsible men then go just quiet why their woman they do them. So one they would even give them up, Adam on top, because they wanna be feminist, they know.
So until the what they do, na the work I use them for one sentence, you never work. Responsible add fruits on this statement, then I
tell you,
because the struggle sometimes they will understand how some man a responsible man when they take care of family. They irresponsible.
See,
but
so I would talk away. Una be feminist no una talk say to a woman fit do a man fit do a man fit do a way to una begin to do like we really read the comments here. People are already making the comments like that. But yeah. I'm trying to say this to those sisters who are in this shoe, because I know there are a lot of them reading us. There are a lot of them listening to us. There are a lot of them I've talked to on ground. They don't even need for their social media. Many of them. There's just one thing I want us to understand. Because you're doing that doesn't make you a feminist. Not be the reason that way be feminist. Because you're the one financially taking responsibility of your house, it doesn't mean you're a feminist. No, sister, you don't just accept for take your money role. You might have no choice in some situations. You don't just accept you for take way to any man supposed to do them. You do and you. So switch of gender roles does not in any way mean feminism. I'm sorry to say this. If you've been beating your chest somewhere that you're a feminist because you're the one financially taking care of your house, then you've been making a mistake about the concept of a feminist. That's not what it means. You're just
they'll come and watch this video and get responsibility that we are going to do them.
So independent rebel. She's an independent rebel.
So sister, if you want to be a feminist, not be because you do that one. If you want to be a feminist, there are many things you need to do. But in that case, if you want to get out of that case, try for see if you make a man be responsible small. Just try for see if you make her. So that means take a position as a man. In a nutshell, guys, I'm so happy we're able to do this. And the drive home message is this. Feminism is not a contrary word to marriage. Feminism is not an aligned word to lesbianism. Feminism doesn't mean singlehood. Feminism is not just about this personal relationship in terms of love with a man. Feminism has so much to it. Female genital mutilation, treating widows, like maltreating widows. Women cannot inherit lands.
Even standing
women
up
cannot
for
inherit
men,
property.
Even a woman, standing up to say that I stand up to condemn something that a woman is doing wrong to a man. Feminism entails that as well.
Yes.
So we want to also see that because
yes, feminism also entails that you are able to tell your sister, I have to arrange something there, because the world will only look the thing sometimes. The world only look the thing sometimes they only really look and very well. So I just want us to put all of this together. Then we're gonna say we'll get work. We're not going for
plenty. For those who they carry with the head like plantain
chips.
We're
not going for village.
I can't tell
what. All that mommy them. We're not go for Bison.
Yes.
Manu, sorry. Oh, yes, thank you. Una go for Manu. Una go for that
village.
When
Manu, you forget and so color.
Yes, una go for Manu for that village is there. They see do female genital mutilation. Fight the women. Fight those old mothers who are doing it. Tell them to stop it. Una go for Bali. That's where Sally John on will be the talk saying they get logical explanation. Una fight other things. They mean stop all that kind of treatment there for women. That is what
fight people their logical explanation. So
that the next time we meet for comment session, what I want to talk about, who are the feminists? Who go the year when I talk so when I don't liberate so young girl for some side, when I don't liberate so widow for some side, when I don't go the year now, I fought my husband yesterday. Yes, I know. Yes, I say I pay my bills. I know. Yes, I fought my husband. I know. Go yes, say yes. Now he did that. I slapped him. Slapping your husband doesn't make you a feminist.
He don't see place again.
So, guys, thank you so much, and looking forward to next time.
Yeah, thank you.